And that's what the crazy thing about the leaks today. The one email
and we're here
that said that Bill Gates wanted to get from him antibiotics to give to Melinda because he got syphilis or he got something.
Damn.
The clap, chlamydia, whatever he got. He got some sort of an STD from a prostitute.
Do you think if she could have the choice between getting what did she get, $50 billion or not getting the syphilis, which would she
whatever
take?
she got. I bet it wasn't syphilis. It was probably the clap. It was probably chlamydia or something like that.
That's no big deal.
But if who knows if that's true, though? Here's the thing. Like, clearly was some sort of a blackmailer. And this is an email that Epstein wrote. So it could be complete fiction. Could have wrote that just to put pressure on Bill's business deal. Like, who knows? He could have spread rumors and then said that he'll squash those rumors. These guys are dealing in deception and blackmail. And so you can't, assume that it's true.
Well, what did you learn about marriage by reflecting on this?
Well, I learned that
you were a famous married couple.
We were, and but I learned, to have a trusted relationship, which is what I wanted in marriage. Both partners have to be honest with one another, and if you can't have intimacy and you can't have trust. And so, in the end, I had to go.
When this is all over and Trump is gone and Democrats are back in charge and we're rebuilding everything, the punishment for MAGA for voting Trump 3 times needs to be that they lose their internet access for 4 years.
Yes, now that these fights are everywhere, are you seeing Democrats actually focus in talking about this? I don't see it. Every single thing Trump start doing, Democrat will complain, oh, he's struggling to cover up the fights, oh, he's struggling to do this. That is what I saw for almost 3 months straight. Now, these files came out. They are still looking deep to see if there is something incriminating that will put down Trump. This is what they have been looking for until they can't figure out. At some point, you will clearly understand that if there was something really incriminating on this file that can take down Trump, Democrat could have released this ever since. The news trending on social media, oh, beget this, beget that, that is what I see. And even Mamdani mom's name came out. At the end of the day, you will realize that your name appearing in these files doesn't mean anything. Your name can be there for just something crazy. Because they pick up any phone conversation, anything that you had to do, or any communication, your name will appear inside.
Actually, I thought there was a very interesting email between Epstein and Michael Wolff. And Michael Wolff says to Epstein, if you have anything juicy about Trump to change the narrative, this was back, I believe, in the first term, now would be the time to do it, because Epstein was coming under fire. If Epstein had something juicy, he would have loved to change the narrative and reveal it. And I would note that all of the claims that you made in the intro were, as you mentioned, from unverified sources. They were looked into, and those complainants were deemed not credible. And there were multiple incidents with those folks involving police and psychiatric evaluations. So look, I think, if anything, this shows that Epstein didn't have anything that damning where he would have released it. And again, if Biden, who his DOJ did everything they could to put him in jail for 4 years, if they'd had any inkling or any tidbit that was damning, I think we would know that by now.
Then why? Okay, they finally releasing files. Let's get into it. So in the 3 million documents that were released, Donald Trump is mentioned over 5,000 times. And I know liberals, you're like, oh my God. However, I need you to know that Obama was mentioned 2,500 times. Your boy Clinton was mentioned 3,900 times, and Bill Gates is mentioned 6,300 times. The way that the system works is you can type in someone's name and it will show you any document with that person's name. So the DOJ did warn, just because someone is mentioned does not mean they are accused. And I will say, after pouring through hundreds of these documents so far, that is definitely the case. A lot of the mentions about Trump, the vast majority, are things about his real estate dealings or just an email sent from one person to the next about Trump's campaign, or just fluff, honestly. Now, one document I do want to discuss is the NTOC call log. This was the FBI's tip line where people were calling and leaving anonymous accusations against Trump. Now, they're saying all types of stuff in here, but when you look closer, for the vast majority of them, when the FBI reached back out to try and get more information, the person never responded. They either left a bad phone number. They said that they were going to send an email with more information. They never did. Even one person, the FBI said they were deemed not credible because that person had 3 separate reports of the law enforcement needing to call and have them mentally evaluated. So again, I'm going to keep looking through all of this because if Trump is guilty of something, I want to know. Right? As a Trump supporter and as a mother to a young girl, I care about this. I do want to know. But I will also be looking into why Gates is mentioned 6,000 times.
Yeah, I believe you've seen these are people with different opinions about the whole thing. I'm going to say this again for the cheap-edged prop seat on the back. Donald Trump has been investigated by the FBI, the CIA, and the NSA, and the IRS, and 3 state AGs. Not to mention that these files were in the possessions of the Biden DOJ that were headed up by Merrick Garland. They raided his home over Trump. In fact, a lot of things happened to Trump that period. At some point, you were question like if Trump had done something that can incriminate him, these people will bring forth because they tried their possible best to look for something. Yeah. And this never happened. If you are still convinced that Trump actually did something wrong here, then you need to rethink again. Can we rest now? Yeah, can we actually rest from this topic? I understand people who committed crimes, they need to be persecuted. Like, I'll need to move on to other things. This has been dragged by Democrat for almost 1 year, looking for something that can bring down Trump. It's crazy, right? If you understand something on these files, you realize that your name appearing on these files doesn't mean anything actually, because there are people that even discuss business with this man, their name will still appear. Anything that you just had like a discussion, they pick up that communication. So you will understand not everybody that is mentioned committed any crime. But the way it used to sound, like if your name is there, oh, you're a bad person, you are this, that is just my conclusion. And Democrats are coming to realizing that it is that way. At first, oh, he's in the episode. Oh, he's in. I've seen this over and over, and I wanted this to come out like this, so people can be clear. They see any person who committed a crime in there, he should be punished.
About, come on. Just because somebody's name is mentioned in a 3 million document file of a person's life who's been lived over crimes who've spanned decades, doesn't mean that every single person is an accomplice. He could be mentioned. He referenced Jay-Z once. He was like, oh, we could learn from Jay-Z's business model. Why are y'all, where's the crime? Focus.
Celebrities, not to get too political.
Ricky Gervais could not be here.
I'm going to end here. As of the short clips at the end, that is for the white algorithm. Please share out the video.
Waiting to explode. And I also think it would be much more difficult legally to challenge their actions in court.
About what's happening,
When I look at that video, I don't see both sides.
You said gather around and say, oh, she's
normalize what's going on in this country right now. It's a Trevor Project. And
my baby's upstairs watching. Y'all better be off them damn phones and watching me right now. Bill Maher, you give us so much.
Yes, Globe for best editing goes to the Justice Department.
I'm a little in shock about that.
Maduro.
Let your hatred and
Sit this one out.
$1,500. Let's see if they get the.
Well,
I want
yeah.
Absolute horror. Hi, Mel Gibson. I'm in Italy.
Obviously has an opinion on this, and America gets to be without their